All the pomp and ceremony of France's traditional Bastille Day celebrations, but on a much smaller scale. The French president inspected troops on Paris's elegant Place de la Concorde, but for the first time in more than 4 decades, there was no military parade on the famous Champs-Élysées. A pared-back event because of the coronavirus crisis and to make room for a homage to the bravery and dedication of France's health workers. Towards the end of the ceremony, an unexpected moment. A banner floated in full view accusing Macron of failing to invest in France's hospitals. Opponents say the president mishandled the health crisis. In a rare television interview, Macron admitted he'd made some mistakes at the start, but that France was now ready for a possible second wave.
I hope in the following weeks masks will be mandatory in all enclosed spaces. It's already the case in public transport, but it's been a bit erratic indoors at this stage.
Later in the city, more health workers gathered, but this time for a protest. The coronavirus crisis has highlighted the plight of France's medical workers and forced the government to respond by offering a pay rise. And while the extra money and the July 14th Bastille Day honour is enough for some, for others, they say it's not enough to save the country's hospitals or jobs.
We want the government to stop reducing the number of beds in hospitals and stop closing smaller hospitals and cutting services. It's a catastrophe.
The pay rises aren't what we asked for. There are too many hospital cuts. Doctors and nurses are quitting the job because we have the lowest salaries for medical workers in Europe.
Macron will hope that his choice to honour health workers on such an important day for France will foster a sense of national unity and rally people behind him. The protest reveals the challenges he faces. Critics say his reforms are hurting the poor. He's promised to reinvent himself and be closer to the people. With less than 2 years until the presidential election, it's clear he's aiming to convince voters as he projects into the future. Natacha, Butler, Al Jazeera, Paris.